Good morning here with Stabila, and
All right, good morning, everyone. We will get going here momentarily. Just making sure we're getting all the last pieces set up, and we will get running with the Arbortech morning session here. We'll be discussing some woodworking. So just threw a post up there on the side. Make sure everyone knows where to ask the questions and bring it through. So I hope we get a couple repeat folks from yesterday. I can already see Carputing in here, so that's good. We'll make sure we have a good time here today. What we're going to be doing a little bit different than yesterday. Yesterday we went through our masonry lineup, so we talked about the AS175 with Arbortech, something maybe a little bit more familiar to the CEO customers that are out there. Talked about the blades, talked about those pieces. So today we're going to be going over what we're a little bit more known for here at Arbortech, and that's our woodworking equipment. So we have a vast lineup of woodworking equipment, whether it ranges from actual self-standing tools that we make at Arbortech, our mini carver, our power chisel, as well as maybe some of our newer ones that we'll talk about in there. And then we also have a wide variety and a large assortment of attachments that go onto your standard 4.5-inch grinders. Some of them are straight threaded on. Some of them will be put on a bit different ways. So we'll go through that whole list, talk a little bit more about those. if you're ever going to need any more info on it, you can always visit us at arbortech.com. Everything's there in terms of very specific tech details on our products, which you might need, which we probably won't end up going through too much today. But I'll do my best to go through that with everyone. Otherwise, we'll get right into it. So just a heads up for everyone in terms of Arbortech. I mentioned it a little bit yesterday, but where we all started was with our CEO Kevin Inkster. He's the one who created all this product for us out of Australia. We are an Australian-based company and started as a woodworking company. In our logo, you can see that it's kind of looks like a little bit of a chainsaw blade, and there's a reason for that. That's really where Kevin started this off all in the Australian outback. He welded a chainsaw blade to the hubcap of a Volkswagen Beetle. And just started going to work power carving, making some designs out in Australia, really developed it forward, got some patents, expanded it into the industrial wood cutter, so on and so forth, and really came forward to where we are here. So let's start talking about those products. We'll go through them. If there's something you see, and you want that question as I'm going through the product, make sure you ask it, and we'll go from there. If you want some, one thing that's a little bit different with woodworking than masonry is, doing a demo with woodworking stuff is, obviously would be ideal here today, but it is extremely loud and dusty, so it kind of shuts down and doesn't play well with having a live stream that's going on and working about getting wood chips. So if you want to, you can click straight on my name in the comments there, John from Arbortech, and you can actually take a look at our YouTube page. I've got a bunch of videos up there physically demonstrating the tools, how they cut into work, what kinds of cuts they're going to do, and give everything a little bit of a different appeal. You can also head over to the Arbortech YouTube page once we're done after the hour here and take a look at a lot more demonstrations, what our artisans and craftspeople are doing with the actual tools itself, and some of the cool designs that they're doing. Power carving, which is what we focus on in the Arbortech world, really kind of fits a niche somewhere between your hand chiselers and your wood turners and your chainsaw carvers. We kind of bring both those worlds and both those styles together. Everything does involve power on our end, so it's not a traditionalist way or a traditionalist method of how you carve wood and cut into wood, but it is something that's gaining a lot of steam and a lot of popularity. It's very easy to get set up, very safe to use as long as you're setting up all the equipment properly and tackling it right, and you can move forward with those pieces that are there. So let's start off first up with our turbo plane. So our turbo plane from Arbortech here is kind of our franchise product, if you will. It's a great circular cutting disc, 4-inch surface. It has 3 different cutting blades on the front that you can kind of see here. I'm going to try and angle everything. It's a pretty bright morning here in southwestern Ontario, so try and reduce the glare as much as possible. But with these discs here, what it's going to do is it's going to give you a nice smooth surface to cut on and to work with. So this here simply attaches onto your 4.5-inch angle grinder. It does come with the proper spacers that you're gonna need and that you're gonna use the standard screw-on that comes with your grinder. So I've got one attached here to a grinding unit. Just put that up off the wall here. Nothing's brand specific here with anything. We do use a variety of grinders. We're not sponsored by anyone here at Arbortech. We do use a variety of tools. So in this case here, it's just a standard Bosch 4.5-inch angle grinder. You can see the plate mounted onto it here. What it's going to be doing is it's going to come with some spacer discs that you're going to use. You attach this onto it, thread it on with the regular screw that comes with it, make sure it's locked into place, and you're ready to go. It's simple as that to use these tools. You're going to have your nice discs here that are going to spit out the wood out of the back. What you're going to want to do when you are setting up these turbo planes or anything that's going to require the actual gate or the safety that's onto your grinder is you're going to want to make sure if you're a left-handed or a right-handed cutter that you're kind of setting that up. So in this case here, we're talking almost noon to 4 o'clock is the cutting surface when I'm going to be holding this grinder. Whereas if you're flipping it around for a lefty, you're going to be going more of a like 8 to 12 kind of cut angle that's going to be there. That's going to give you your right angle to make sure your chips aren't spitting out and hitting your knuckles or anything. But this here is a disc. When it's spinning, it's going to be used for for carving out small shallows, maybe like starting a bowl or a larger spoon, but mostly it's used for planing surfaces, giving yourself a nice smooth cut, softening off the top of logs. You can also use this for bulk removal, so taking off anything like your bark off of wood or bringing down and flattening a log. A lot of places that we see used in application for this is people that are taking old barn wood or old railway ties or something of that sort, and making like a mantle out of them, softening out the top of a table, getting it small. You can get a very nice smooth surface. Also, because of how quick this disc spins and the smoothness of the cut that's going to get, two things happen. It's going to be producing chips, not dust. So as you're cutting, you're not going to be getting that fine dust particle, very similar like I talked yesterday with the masonry stuff. You're not going to have those floating in the air, so you're breathing in you're breathing in dust. It's physically going to give you chips, so it's a lot easier to clean up your shop at the end of the day. But it's also giving you that fly-off surface because of the spin that's going to be there. And it's also giving you a very nice surface, smooth surface. It's not bringing you down to like a 4,000 grit sandpaper by any stretch of the imagination, but it is going to help you get a long way there, so you can reduce the sanding process and it gets you to finished product. Got a log here, or pardon me. This is just a small little demo project, nothing special, just first thing to go, but it gives you an idea of what I kind of did with the turbo plane. So this was just a circular log, kind of brought it down, got it to a decent amount of flush. Obviously there's still some final work that needs to be done into these kind of pieces, but whether it's working on your sides like this or just kind of smoothing out the top, your edges, it does give you a fairly nice smooth surface. I haven't touched this with anything but the turbo plane on the sides. In the front, we've got the ball gouge, which we'll talk about shortly. But in terms of the sides and the bottom, this is something I've only actually touched with the turbo plane. I haven't hit the physical bottom part or the side with anything in any piece of sanding. So you can see how smooth it is already with me being able to rub my hand onto it. I know that might be a little bit difficult to come through a YouTube stream there, but it is quite nice and soft. So what that's doing is reducing that amount of time that you're going to be using. You're going to be using a piece of sandpaper to get to your finished product and give yourself a nice level and plain surface. So that's the turbo plane. Great piece that's out there. These are all, by the way, every single product that we sell or every product that I'm talking about today in our woodworking world can be purchased now through CEO and their new woodworking lineup that we're working with them on bringing it in. They can also order some in for you if you've got any specifics on it, and that goes for our woodworking or our masonry at the same time. Grab a little sip of water here. Cheers to your morning coffee. Always makes good TV when you're watching someone just drink in the morning. All right, next up, we're going to be talking about our industrial wood carver. Now, this one here, great attachment. One of our most popular ones because of the versatility of the cuts. Not as much finesse work is going to be done with our industrial wood cutter, but this is probably going to be the closest thing that we have at Arbortech that's going to simulate somewhere, as close as you can get to sort of a small chainsaw. As opposed to the turbo plane where it's cutting on the face itself, this one physically is going to be cutting on the teeth on the edge. So what it does is it has 3 rotatable teeth on the front side. They can be sharpened with a diamond file or something of that nature. But what that is, it allows you to rotate them up to 4 to 5 times to have yourself a consistently sharp edge as you're working with this disc and you're cutting away with it. It can be used to cut, it can be used to cut straight lines. It can be used to gouge in, but mostly what we see a lot of people using this with, again, is bulk removal, getting that product ready, and also cutting in carves. So if you think of something like when you see those chainsaw carvers making kind of like a bear or an eagle, and it has those those rolled designs that are coming down the side, that's the type of cut you're going to see out of it. I've got a piece of wood again here. This one's a little more difficult to show just due to size, but a few different styles of the cuts that we have with it here. You can see the back end of the log where it's ground in that way. Anything that's in this kind of crook here from the knot, that's a piece that was all taken out with the industrial wood carter. And you can see the top of the log here as well, where you've got a little bit of the scoring and the grinding, that's all types of cuts that you're going to be able to get with it. So whether you're just trying to feather something in, trying to do some bulk removal, those are all pieces that are going to come out with the industrial wood cutter that are there. You can really work yourself into different angles. Again, it attaches to a standard 4.5 inch grinder. As you can see, I have one here with this one. You can see this one set up a little bit differently. I am a lefty, so I do have this one the opposite way that's going to be there. What it does is it gives you that spin. Got your guard onto it. Different type of brand here. You can see they fit on any 4.5 inch grinder. This one here isn't quarter. This one is actually battery packed power. You're going to get about 50 to 60 minutes out of life out of it. This isn't a sales pitch for DeWalt or anything like that by any stretch of the imagination, but it just allows you to show with how much power it's spinning and cutting into the wood. You're still going to get some good bang for your buck out of it. And it's just a very simple piece. You can see the spin here. Nice loud product. Gets you a lot of wood off at once. Fun to use. Very safe to use as well. These are great products to get into woodworking and start them up. Yeah, that's a good comment there, Carb Puting. You're spot on with that in terms of tools that wear unevenly because of the way they spin. Anything we have when we talk about our rotating discs are exactly that. We've got different, we try and cover off all the angles for it. We really pride ourselves on making quality. Our CEO Kevin, CEO Canadian Equipment, but our CEO Kevin Inkster that's going to be there is really, he's focused on sustainability, having products that can last. You're going to purchase something, you're going to get good quality. We stand behind that at Arbortech, and we want to make sure we're getting that out for our customers and for everyone that's going to be out there, whether they're grabbing our woodworking or our masonry. We don't want someone to come in, buy some product, use it, it gets dull, and they're throwing it out within 3 to 4 months and buying again, and there's more waste out there, packaging, different units. We want people to be able to have something. You'll see all over our Arbortech YouTube pages, whether you're contacting us or you're contacting some of our dealers, we're really heavy on supporting, making sure that stuff is resharpenable, exchangeable. Whether there's parts on it, they're going to be replaceable. Pardon me. So we want to support that unit that you have in there. We have, many customers. We've got demonstrators with our woodworking shows that use our turning discs, like our turbo plane that's been running off them for 7-8 years, and all they've ever done is run a light diamond file over the face of it to keep it sharp and keep it going. That's really all we want to do. We want to focus on it. You're buying quality from us. We realize we are at a premium price point for our products, but we stand by that for a reason. So we don't ever really talk about our pricing in terms of what it's costing, because we know these products are going to give you lots of life out of it. Even for myself coming on who's new, I'm doing a lot of demos, or did a lot of demos when I was on the road, and will be doing a lot of demos again when we get back on the road post-COVID, to be using these discs and these cutting tools that are going to be out there. I'm using them a lot. I still haven't gotten to the point where I've needed to sharpen any of mine. I've probably done about 14-15 hours worth of cutting roughly with some of these discs in this chip shed as I've been doing videos and doing demos over this stretch. So we built for these long, lifelong lasting that's going to be there. So yeah, you hit it on the head there, Carpenter. That's a good call. So also with our industrial woodcutter, this one here comes standard just in itself. We do have an additional add-on kit, which is what we call our Carver Pro Kit. So this Carver Pro Kit here is getting a little bit of traction in terms of popularity because of safety regulations that are coming out. It's also something that's great that we've seen for schools, trade colleges, people that are looking to getting into wood carving and maybe have a little bit of safety issues, or they're not quite sure what they're doing, or someone who just wants like a straight up controlled cut. With the industrial Woodcarver Pro Kit, it comes with a physical guard that's into it that just snaps on or attaches on to your grinder, depending which brand that you have. And what's going to happen is out of the base of this guard here, it's only going to leave a little bit of an exposed edge of the actual cutting surface itself. So you have more of that controlled cut, but there's less of the disc that's showing, less of anything that's popping out for you. So it's a very easy install. Everything comes on the back of the package here for you. You can see which way you go. It even gives you the instructions on how to hold the grinder if you're not too sure. But we're seeing a lot of these come through, like I said, to get them out to colleges. So if you're someone who's watching who works, in the trade for woodworking, or if you're someone who's working or teamed up with one of the colleges, take a look at some of these. These are a great way to go. It meets all of the safety aspects that oftentimes schooling or places like that are looking for, to make sure it's safe. Or if you're just someone who's safety conscious, it's a great place to go. All right, next up here, this has been our most popular seller of 2020. This thing has been crazy. We have a lot of great bulk and volume with our industrial wood carver and our turbo plane, but our ball gouge is really the one that seems to be the piece in the last couple of years that's been exciting customers the most to go into it. It seems to be the easiest place to start because you have the most versatility with it. You can see the most that comes out of your wood. So many people are all starting. There's tons of beginner videos out there with YouTube in terms of getting people to promote, make a bowl, make a spoon. Those two things specifically. And you can basically do the entirety of those projects with a ball gouge. Now, the beauty of this guy right here is it just threads on a little bit differently, and I'll show you. A little bit differently than any of our spinning discs, but this one here simply just threads on to a 4.5-inch angle grinder. You just pop it on, thread it. I don't know if I'll be able to get it off without a tool. Getting it on is nice and easy. Getting it off is a little bit different once it's spun on there. But this here just spins onto it, and as this rotates, the head is cutting on about a 320-degree angle. Now, obviously not 360 because you've got this piece here that's going to be in the way, but it really allows you for a ton of freedom in cutting. If you're interested in seeing a couple cool videos, take a look at our YouTube page for some of these Arbortech ones and our ball gouge specifically. You can cut forward, you can cut back, you can cut to the side, you can cut under, you can spin in with this tool very easily and give yourself a ton of shaping. So when I was making this, just kind of cutting stuff out, doing demos at, in the shop here just for fun, just making like something like a little bit of a bread tray here, for example, the whole front side of this was simply used with the ball gouge. You can give yourself nice, easy cuts. It gives a very smooth cut too, and it's actually a very appealing way of cutting because it does remove a lot of wood chips. It removes a lot of bulk material, but you can also finesse with it too. It's very easy to control, and the design of it specifically ensures that when this piece here is spinning and it's hitting the wood, it's contacting the wood and it's purposely skipping a very little bit every single time. That ensures that it's not grabbing into the wood and the ball gouge is physically going away from you or going with you in the direction that it's spinning. So you're grabbing onto this thing like a death grip and really working it. It spins nice and smooth, so there's no catch. Easy use, easy cutting, a very fun tool to work with. This is the one we love to put in the hands of beginners, or because you can do pretty much anything with it. Pros love it. They already know how to speak to it and have fun with it. But getting into woodworking and getting excited about woodworking, this is an awesome place to start. Very easy, very handy, and all you need is a regular old $44, $45 hand grinder that's going to be there. You can attach it to it. It gives you all the power you need. This one here is threaded. It does work on cordless as well. And it's a very cool place to start. For just over $100, you can get this guy here, work it into it, get onto your power carving adventure. All right, so next up, we're gonna kind of go down our turbo range list. So we've got a couple different options for it. These ones here start to sound very similar, so I'm gonna do both at the same time. And what we're talking about here is our, sorry, I can't find my second one. There we go. So our mini turbo and our turbo shaft. So the mini turbo is on my left, which is this guy right here. And our turbo shaft is right here on this side. So very similar in terms of cutting and action. What it does is a bit different in terms of the size. So our original turbo blade that we talked about is a 4-inch cutting surface. This one here, our mini turbo, is about a 2-inch cutting surface, and our turbo shaft is a 1-inch cutting surface. Now our mini turbo, kind of unique in the sense that it looks like it has blades very similar to our industrial woodcutter, but what you'll notice is none of them actually protrude past the side. that are going to be here. So it is having everything cutting on the face. It's not a side cutting tool despite the way it looks like it. We do have one in a little bit I'll talk to you about there that's smaller, that side cuts. But this one here is a face cutter. So the beauty of this, and I didn't talk about it actually when I did the turbo plane, is that once you set this up against something that's going to give you an edge or give you something to work with, it's going to allow you to stay up against it and surface that's going to be here. So if you need to work down with a template, grind product down, grind wood down, and follow it there, you're not going to have to worry about over cutting onto this one because there is no cutting face on it. So you can work down, can give yourself a nice smooth surface to go over. A little bit more of a precision cutter at 2 inches there with the mini turbo. Now with the turbo shaft, which I will get to you once I can get this guy back on the shelf here. There we go. Turbo shaft is a lot more finesse. This one here, I don't have the guard onto it because it is only a 1 inch cutting surface, so you need to have a little bit more control into what you're seeing. Obviously there'd be a handle that's going to thread onto this one to give you that control as you're cutting, but the turbo shaft has 2 little mini cutters here on the front of it. This is not meant for boring straight down. It's not going to go any further than what you can go past here once you're designing into it. It's not going to bore in, but what this is allowing you to do is give you controlled cutting for lettering back and forth. So if you're making a sign, it says 123 Main Street for your house or something like that, give yourself a pattern, dive this into the wood, and then you can work back and forth. The package itself, when we sell it, which is right here, as you can see this little black disc that's going to be there, that's your depth gauge. So that gives you control for cutting. It's going to make sure that you're not going any further. You can slide it up and down to anything just above the actual cutting surface that's going to be there, and it allows you to control exactly how far in or how far down you want to go once you're cutting that surface, and it allows you to work out. This guy here is perfect for working with templates, perfect for making a consistent design and using it using it in a variety of ways. A very specific cutter at 1 inch, but definitely one that has a lot of people coming back for more. All right, so that completes our turbo lineup in terms of what's going on. Our next one up that I want to talk about, one of our funner attachments, because it always gets a little bit of a different look when we demo this one at some of the wood shows or around. And this is our contour sander, our contour orbital sander. I'll show you the kit first and then come back to the tool. So our contour sander and our contour sanding kit's pretty cool. Comes with the random sander attachment, which is this guy up here at the top, which has got the backing pad as well, Allen key. We've got all of our screws and everything that's into it. As well as a variety and an assortment of discs ranging everywhere from 80 to 600 grit. Each one has 3 of them here built into the pack. But what's really unique about this contour sander is the flexibility that comes with it. It allows you to work into different surfaces. So many places are rigid, but this one here has a neoprene pad that's flexible. As you can see it bend across right here. So what that's really allowing you to do is, as you're sanding into your different surfaces, that's going to allow you to flex and bend. The other piece that it does is this here actually vibrates onto itself, and it's spinning independently of the actual shaft, so that when you are getting into it and you're working into places that maybe are a little bit tighter, or again, you're working on, I'll go back to that bowl that I keep bringing back to it just because it's easy for demoing, is if you're placing this into something here like a rounded surface and you're bending it, it's going to ensure that it's getting all of those corners and nooks and crannies without worrying about spinning and burning the surface. It'll slow itself down as it's carving, as I'll show you here. So once this thing you can physically touch that thing as it's going to be spinning because it stops rotating once it goes. It's going to give you those minor vibrations. You'll be able to see it and feel it up against its hand and work from there. The other beauty of this here is we do have our little screw and flange that goes into it. It seems like it would be up against the surface, like why John are you showing me something that's going to have something that's going to scratch up my surface? You'll see that this is actually inset just enough that your sanding surface here is spinning, never gets into it, so it's never going to grab it. It makes it for very easy change. Yeah, you're bang on there, carpeting. This thing is very easy to use on, curved surfaces that are going to be out there. It is specific at 2 inches. The other nice thing you can do with it is we have all the replacement sanding pads that are out there. We're very happy to sell you all the sanding pads. We've got them all in pre-cut discs that are out there. Or you can check out CEO to see if they can order in specifics. We have everything from I believe 60 grit all the way up to I believe 1600 grit in total. I'll have to double check my numbers on exactly which one it is. We've got so many different ones, but you can check with our dealers. We can get them a complete list of everything in terms of sandpaper. We don't just sell them in the kits that way. We also have them kind of loose and assorted into baggies like this that are going to be coming, with 20 to 25 discs in them to make sure you're good to go. They all have the pre-cut holes built in, so you're all set. Put them right onto your contour sander, and away you go. I love this tool. I love using it to demo. I've loved using it for finishing stuff around the house since I've got it. Again, it's just attached to a regular old 4.5 inch grinder. It threads onto the front of it here nice and easily. This one here comes off a little bit more. Just take it off, take it on as you need to replace it, and you're good to go. Contour sanders right there. You're all set. Easy peasy. Fun attachment. Very cost effective too. We're selling these, we're selling these things for under $100. So easy place to go. You can use it in your shop. Doesn't even have to be for woodworking. The beauty of this tool, this attachment, pardon me, because it is sanding, can be used for so many different applications. Whether you're going in, you're doing trim work, you're doing pieces around the house, you just need to sand something that's into a weird corner. Orbital contour sander, tool for you. All right, so let's get into our lineup of our actual Arbortech tools. This is where we take a little bit of a swing, to a different channel here. Is at Arbortech we also make some of our own tools, and we really want to focus into it. And one of them that we really want to get into a little bit more in depth here, and this is a great place for woodworking to physically start, is kind of an all-in-one or more of a well-rounded tool, I guess, as I'll put it that way, is a better way to turn it. And this is our mini carver by Arbortech. So this here is physically built with our systems, built with our tools. This is our whole unit that's going to be there, our own tool unit, and it does come with this extended arm attachment that's onto it. And it comes with a variety of different discs. Some of them are standard, some of them are extra. This is the standard disc that's going to come with it. It's an industrial cutter. You'll see how thin this is, so it allows for finesse. The beauty of this mini carver is the volume of control that you have when you're cutting into it. Because it has the extended arm, you can get into different places, you can really work out of it. It's extremely smooth. It gives you so many different angles of cutting that are onto it. Right now I have the Mini Pro. This is actually our newest blade and our newest piece that we've put out with Arbortech. It's our little Mini Pro carver that's going to be here. It's about a 2-inch spinning disc. Easy to come by, easy to get. It's brand new. It attaches uniquely to our mini carver. It is designed for this system as well as the industrial cutter. You can also install sanding pads onto the mini carver as well too, so you've got yourself kind of a 3-in-1, which is why we talk about it being well rounded. But with our Mini Pro cutter here, it really gives you the similarity of our industrial cutter that we talked about in a 4-inch surface. This one brings it down to a 2 and attaches with our mini carver system here. So the mini carver itself has a vibration reduction handle that comes with it, so it gives you long-lasting comfort. It has an adjustable speed dial here at the back as well. So whether you're doing some actual heavy power carving or power cutting that's going to be going into it, you can turn this sucker up to 11 or 6 in our case, and give yourself some nice cutting, some nice chipping away. You can remove some material with this at good speed with the Mini Pro. Or you can turn it down if you're starting to getting into some sanding, turn it down to 3/4, or if you really want to get into something that's almost like a little bit more of a chipped design. A lot of people have been sharing some videos with us on YouTube with that, is you can turn this back down to 1, and what that's going to allow you to do is it slows the speed down between 6,000 and 16,000 RPM for our head, so it can almost give you almost like a vibrated design on top of your surface. Because of the way this is going to spin, it's almost going to catch and chunk the wood as opposed to removing it off really smoothly. So it's up to you to control what kind of look you're going for. You have a bunch of different options you can work with. It also has an attachment here on the front of it that's going to allow you to hook this up to a standard shop vac, so it reduces any of your chips and your wood collection that's going to be there. Very standard attachment here on the back. Just a simple connection to like a shop hose. Sorry. I don't have the right attachment on here right now. I've got to set up for another tool, so it's a very poor demo, but you can imagine how that works. Just connect to a shop hose, nothing crazy there, and you're all set your way to go. That's going to help you remove, 60 to 70% of any of your wood chips or your wood dust that's flying around. It helps it as well too in kind of sucking it into the vent that's there. Easy to replace your blades. Comes with an Allen's key. Simple key here at the top. Screwdriver on the back side of it. Counter turn, and away you go. You can replace those blades that are into it, or you can actually add the sanding pad as well. The only difference when you're talking the sanding pad with this piece here is it does become a fixed unit, unlike the contour sander that we just talked about. So this is the guy right here that just gets attached onto it. It's not going to spin independently like the orbital sander that we talked about, but it's still going to give you a great sanding attachment to add to your arm here. Place this on. Now you have a nice high spinning sanding piece that you're going to be able to finish your work or finish a surface with it. I've been doing a lot of fun stuff, nothing completed with it, more demo style with this piece here. But I can tell you, this is one of the more entertaining tools to play with, just because of how easy it is and how easy it is to control. Very safe, very light to handle, just a very easy product overall. Anyone who's looking into it, we really recommend to it. We ran a women's seminar down in Australia. You can see actually the videos again on our Arbortech YouTube page, but we called it Power Carving for Women. And the women in our shop, as well as our CEO that were out there, and a lot of other women from the community came in, and we had mini carvers in everyone's hands. It's a great tool for for anyone to get into, and I don't single out women as an audience that we can go into it that's there, but it's a market that was underdeveloped or underused in terms of people getting into it. Whether it was people like me, honestly, I'm not a huge handyman that's out there. So coming into a tool company like this and getting these tools in my hand has been excellent to be able to use it in terms of safety. I sold paint before. Paint doesn't move, so getting people into the woodworking world and woodworking industry safely, to realize that they can get there without necessarily worrying about having any spinning stuff coming at you or putting your hands in the wrong place. These tools are designed with safety in mind first. We really focus on our safety with Arbortech, and using our mini carver that we just showed is something that's going to allow you to get to that very safely as well. So, all right, let's move on down the line here and talk about our power chisel. So bear with me for 2 seconds as I get the actual chisels off the wall here. So our power chisel is kind of where old school meets new school and somewhere lands in the middle. So our power chisel set comes with 7 different chisels, a variety of different scoops and cuts and flats that are going to be there. So you've got this option for your 7 different cutting surfaces that are going to be there. I'll show you them this way. And the beauty of our chisels, every single one of them, easy to attach. So this is our power chisel unit itself. I'll go through the unit very shortly. Simply take your power chisel, slide it in the hole until it clicks. That's it. Your power chisel's installed, you're ready to go. Plug in your power and you're all set. Very similar to our mini carver, the power chisel is an Arbortech tool. Our system, our build, our product that's going to be all built into it. Standard paddle switch as you would with any grinder in here. It does come in a locking position because with the chisel you are going to use it a little bit differently in terms of how long and how much you're going to put into it. So we've got the built-in lock. Power on, power off, good to go. Comes with a rotatable handle, replace either side, and then you're ready to go. Now, unique part about this chisel is this is going to give you a 1 millimeter hammering action every single time. So if you can hear that noise that's there, that's what's going to be happening with this piece as it's actually going. And the beauty of this product is it's designed, the whole reason this extended head is here is chiseling requires a very high level of precision and finesse control. So having the actual power chisel here and using this, you're going to want that control at the tip. So it's designed to give you to be able to hold your hand onto it as well as you have your other hand on the body to work. And it's not going to be, it's not going to be cutting your hand or hurting your hand. It takes a little bit of getting used to, because using a power tool and putting your hand near the blade is completely contrary to what you should be doing. But with our power chisel here, this is something that you can work with. So I'll show you a quick demo of just what it sounds like and in terms of using it. So once you get it on, very easy to handle. And then as you're putting that into the wood, so you can see just how easy it is to handle. Obviously, loud for a YouTube stream. I apologize for that. That's going to be there, and I don't think too many people are going to be doing any designs out of a 2x4 by any stretch of the imagination. But with our power chisel, that's the way you can do it. You can give yourself some different looks. So a lot of things we've noticed with our customers in the power chisel tool itself specifically is we've noticed a lot of people coming in and using that for building, let's say, like a bird, right? So if you think of a wood carving bird that has those designs that are going to be out there, you can use that power chisel to give you that curled look, and allow those to work out. You can build yourself chip under, chip under, chip under, build yourself a winged look and a surface look that's going to be there. So it's a really cool piece to go with, really something that's neat to do. Gives yourself a nice smooth surface as well too. That's kind of one of the beauties of this, with how small of a vibration it is and how it cuts in. How smooth this wood is absolutely crazy once it's done. It's something you kind of gotta, you gotta feel it to believe it, or taste it to try it, whatever you want to talk about here. But it gives you a really nice smooth surface, and you can see how quick it was in chiseling. This was a very tough product. So it's a very tough product to get into chiselers' hands, because the beauty of chiseling and wood chiseling is just how old school is in having that connection to the material and the connection to the wood. We still offer that. You get to hold the tool, you get to feel the tool. It's very easy to use, but what it's allowing is time and efficiency that's going to be out there. So you can work with this tool, you can work with it at speed, you can work with it safely, but you can also work with it by having that control that you always would out of a regular chiseler. Now, with our power chisel and our power chisel unit, it does come with the physical unit itself. So you are going to get that whole tool that's going to be there, and you're going to get 7 different chisels. Our offering used to have 5, but we've upped it to 7. It does come with this nice little Arbortech pouch here, so you can secure all your chisels into it. You don't have to worry about them getting lost or getting wrangled up. It also comes with a replaceable pad here. This is for absorbing any of the oil. And the physical oil itself, every 30 to 45 minutes of use, this is just our lubricating oil, 1 or 2 drops into the back of the power chisel, and you're going to be good to go. So low maintenance, easy to use, easy to handle, very fun piece of power equipment to use, and you're all set. We also have a variety of 15 different chisels that you can pick from. So if the 7 chisels that come standard with this power chisel unit don't quite meet what you're after, you can very easily pick yourself up some extra ones to complement the 7 that are there. All right, so I mean that kind of covers off our woodworking tools and our woodworking equipment that's going to be there. We do have I do want to show you guys a couple videos here of them actually in use and some proper ones. So hopefully Chaz is watching here, and I apologize for the kind of 2-second delay. But what I need to do is just get him to set up something here real quick for me and get him onto my team viewer here so that we can get it kind of set up. So in the meantime, while we're going and kind of working on this, if there's anyone who has any questions, please drop them in. I'd love to hear what love to hear what you guys are saying, or what what you guys are looking for out there. We have this variety of we've got this variety of assortment of tools. All of them can be purchased through CEO here. You can connect with them. They'll be able to get everything for you, all set up properly, and yeah, it's a nice easy way to make sure you're getting into the power carving world and supporting CEO, who's done a lot of great work here to to be able to get this set up here for us today. I've been happy to come in and jump in and give them some of the time to get that out. And yeah, Chaz, I just did send that over to you for the team viewer to go from there. So yeah, Carputing, also want to send a thank you out to you. You've been jumping in, throwing a lot of questions and comments, which has been very helpful. Helps these pieces go along to work into it and go from there. Our woodworking tools, again, to go back on them, we really talk about the safety here with them. They're easy to use. Demoing our woodworking tools is obviously the best way to go. This is not the medium for it, which is why I want to show you guys some quick videos that are going to be here. So apologize for the crossover on it, but what we're going to do is kind of get these up. And the best way is, if you ever want to have a demo or kind of get a feel of these tools, you're not too sure what it is with your hand, feel free to connect with us at Arbortech. I am the national sales manager for Canada, so I cover the country. I can organize some stuff to kind of come to you, wherever you're located, and show some of these tools, and then you can go back into CEO and purchase them through them. Get yourself a nice sale, get those products into your hands, and get started in your woodworking career adventure, or add on to already some of your Arbortech tools. They're going to be there to bring into it. One of the things we didn't really I didn't touch on enough, just realizing it was out of the corner of my eye here, was our mini turbo kit. So I talked about the mini turbo earlier in showing it to you with the 2-inch surface, but our mini turbo kit itself, does come with a lot more than just the mini turbo. So you'll see with this attachment and the way it's designed is the mini turbo cutter itself can actually attach to our mini carver unit that we talked about a little bit earlier, which is great. But what it does come standard, if you're going to be using it on a 4.5-inch grinder, it has the mini turbo shaft that's going to be right here to be able to extend onto it. So what that's going to do is that's physically going to extend that off of your 4-inch grinder, and you can attach this head onto it, so it gives you that raise that's going to be there. It also comes with sanding discs that are built in here at the bottom. So what that's going to do is give you you can switch out the cutting head, and you can add on to the shaft, so it gives you all that here built in together. So looks like Chaz basically has us set up here, so we can show you a video real quick. I'm just going to wait for him to confirm that, and then we are going to show you some of the pieces in action. I think what I'm going to do is take you through the industrial woodcutter, and you'll be all set. So. Chaz, I'll let you grab it from here. If you can start that YouTube video that's on that page I just pulled up, that'd be greatly appreciated. Get that started from the start and go from there.
Hey gang, thanks for joining me on another episode of John's Carvin' Cabin. Today we're going to be taking another look into some of Arbortech's exciting and awesome power carving products. Today we're going to be looking at the Industrial Wood Carver. This is the professional's choice in rotary wood carving. This blade carves the hardest and softest woods with equal smoothness, efficiency, control, and ease. It'll make a pro out of you in no time. Unlike other Arbortech blades, this blade can be used for straight cuts and wood projects. It's great for deep profiling, some detail carving, rough shaping, and just straight up bulk removal like you'll see later in the video with this crazy knot I got on a log going on over here. One of the great features about this is it has 3 rotatable teeth that are going to be on this disc. You can spin them around up to 4 times to make sure you're getting a nice, clean, sharp cut every time throughout your project for good, long-lasting life. As always with Arbortech, safety first. That's really what we focus on here. With the way these teeth are designed and the control that it has, you're not going to get any skipping or grabbing inside of the wood to make sure you're doing all your freehand easy as possible. Now, when we talk about safety, we go even a little bit farther. You can purchase this blade as is to attach right to any standard 4 or 4.5 inch angle grinder. You'll see here today, I've got a wireless version. Yesterday we talked about the corded. They will work on either, so you can attach this to any one of those angle grinders you have kicking around your house to turn them into power carving tools for you. We also have the Industrial Wood Carver Pro Kit. Now this is sold for us at arbortech.com. You can take a look at it. The beauty of this kit is you've got many different options here that are built right into it. You also have the blade that comes with it, but it also has the nice safety design to keep it in mind. So if you're at a trade school, you're a student, a rookie power carver, or you just flat up work in a city that's got some hardcore safety regulations, the Pro Kit is perfect for you. It only allows the leading edge to peek out of this design here that you're going to add to your grinder, so you can go and work for your projects in safety without worrying about having any exposed spinning blades. Now stick around, and I'm going to show you how to get the most out of your industrial wood carver on this crazy knot that I got going on. Remember kids, safety first. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of John's Carbon Cabin, where we focused on the Arbortech Industrial Wood Carver. Now check out the links over here and below to visit arbortechtools.com, where you can find out more information on how to purchase an industrial wood carver for yourself and turn you into a pro. Thanks, and keep power carving. Hey gang, thanks for joining me on another episode of John's Carbon Cabin. Today is an extra special episode. It's our 5th one that we've done so far. We've got a sweet new shop sign in the back, and we are all fired up and ready to go because today we are going to be talking about the Arbortech Mini Carver. Now this baby right here is an upgrade on the Mini Grinder, which was one of our most popular woodworking tools, and I'm going to take you through some of these key features that we've changed and updated that's going to make you come to love our Mini Carver. Some of the additional features that we've focused on here on the Mini Carver will help take you through shaping, sculpting, and sanding stages with ease and seamlessness. This little guy right here is robust enough to last, but compact enough to offer detailed carving capabilities and maneuverability. The Mini Carver is the ideal power tool for wood sculptors and carvers alike who value performance, efficiency, and versatility. Now let's go through some of these great features of the new Mini Carver that you're going to come to love, and it's going to make you want to purchase one at the end of this video. Now one of the features we're talking about that's been added to our Mini Carver as the upgrade from the Mini Grinder is the addition of a 6-speed variable speed motor, as you'll see added on the back here by a dial. You can adjust your speeds from 6,000 to 18,000 RPM, which is going to allow you to control the precision and speed of your cutting, whether it's aggressive carving work or finesse finishing sanding. Now talking about sanding, we've taken it even further here with the Mini Carver and enhanced the sanding capabilities of this product by adding the sanding pad attachment that goes with your Mini Carver. Simply remove your blade, replace it with the flexible pad here, very similar to our contour sander, and you've got yourself a perfect all-in-one unit that is going to take you from carving to finished sanding. The sanding kit does come included with your Mini Carver package. You will receive the flexible sanding pad here, along with an assortment of grits and attachments. One of the great features you're going to receive with your Mini Carver kit is this dust extraction dust collector boot. By simply lining it up with the Mini Carver, clicking it into place, you've now got yourself a great, powerful dust collection boot that attaches directly to your Mini Carver. Simply attach it to your standard vacuum hose that you've got in your shop already, and you've got yourself a powerful dust collection system that's going to allow you to keep your shop clean and safe of any airborne contaminants. Now in terms of cutting, carving, and sculpting, you're going to want to know a little bit more about the blade. This here is the Mini Industrial Blade. This blade here has 2 Tungsten Carbide tipped carving blades, which are going to ensure your blade stays sharp for longer, offering optimum performance even in the hardest of timbers. In terms of cutting, we've recently launched a new blade which we're very excited about, which is attached to my Mini Carver here. We're talking about the Arbortech Mini Pro. Very similar to the industrial wood cutter in a larger format and a 4-inch disc, this Mini Pro cutter here at a 2-inch format fits perfectly and is designed to work with the Mini Carver that's going to give you an awesome finish. You'll see in my demos a little bit later how smooth on different angles that you can work with this cutter. You'll see here you have your replaceable teeth that are on the front of it. Simply remove those with the Allen key that's provided. You can take them, sharpen them, and rotate them up to 4 different times to give extra extension out your life. the Arbortech Mini Pro, that must-have blade that you're really going to want for this mini carver. The next two features are really going to ensure that you're getting the most out of your mini carver, as well as ensuring comfort and ease when using your mini carver. We've added a vibration reduction handle here that's going to take a lot of that stress out of holding this tool, whether you're using it for a short or long period of time. Also, we've improved our motor to ensure that there is less sound as well as vibration to ensure a clean and comfortable use of your mini carver, which is going to give you long-lasting power all throughout your project. With the mini carver bundle, you really are getting the most bang for your buck. You're getting the blade that comes standard with it, the dust boot attachment, the physical unit itself that's attached here with your vibration reduction handle, the improved motor, the variable 6 speeds, all of which is going to come in this great little portable kit that you can carry everything around to you to go from project to project or safely store your tools in a clean environment. Now let me take you through a few key ways that you can use your mini carver to get started on any types of projects around your house, even something as simple as just a spoon out of a block of wood. Stick around with me and let me show you how it works. Remember kids, safety first. Compact sugar babies is by us. Thanks for joining me on another episode of John's Carving Cabin, where today we focused on the Arbortech Mini Carver. Now this beauty is a great tool for beginners, pros, chainsaw carvers, anybody out there who's really looking to get into woodworking or looking to finesse some of their projects that they're doing. If you want some more great information on how you can get one of these or get some more information for yourself, make sure you take a look at the link that's going to be posted right here and in the bio below. Also, if you're looking for great content on more awesome, inspiring videos, make sure to check out Arbortech on YouTube up here. And please don't forget to like and subscribe just over here. Thank you very much for your time today. And remember, stay power carving.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for jumping in today and for your time. I appreciate you all. Just counting over 10, so make sure you check out CEO for some more great deals and all your great info. And thanks to the folks over at CEO and Chaz for hosting me today here. Have fun with your next presenter. Hopefully, you guys learn a lot and have yourself a great weekend. Take care.